Hello everybody and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where your boys always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlock.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the entire MLB and talking about the players who were the most surprising in this season of 2022. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And guys, also, it is $3 a month to become a Patreon. TODAYJAYS is the code for Betstamp. Alright, so first off on this list, I think the most surprising player, to me at least, he's my fantasy guy, I love him, it's Spencer Strider from the Atlanta Braves.
Dude.
He's amazing.
Who are ya?
He came out of nowhere.
For real, man, and I just want to preface to something right now. Like, we're taking the word surprising and using it in kind of like a positive connotation.
Yes.
We'll have another video coming out later about dudes who, like, surprised us in a bad way. But Spencer Strider has absolutely blown the doors off in the MLB. This kid came out of nowhere. I had no idea who he was until, like, I think it was around June when you came to me.
I started talking about him.
You came to me because I didn't know, right? It's like you came to me, you were like, yeah, man, like, I picked up this guy, like, just like as a waiver wire thing. He's had 2 really good games. And I was like, oh, shit. Took a look at him, and it hasn't stopped all, man.
No, he continues to get strikeouts. So the reason why I keep making note of him is because we have a big strikeout league, and he's the fastest player to 200 strikeouts in his career. Like this, he's got 203 and about 131 innings pitched. And before this season, he pitched literally like 2 1/3 inning pitch with no strikeouts. Like he was a nothing guy, you know, with a 3 ERA. But this guy, he solidified. We compared him to Jacob deGrom and like Robbie Ray in strikeouts. So he's gonna have a great career.
And,
for sure.
and I mean, like, strikeouts are only sexy when they're paired, when they're married with a beautiful ERA, which is what this kid has. Like 2.67 ERA. We made a comment about it in one of our previous videos. It's like Atlanta Braves, like they just seem to have a tendency, maybe it's the coaching staff over there, maybe it's the scouting staff, maybe it's the people who are doing the drafting, I have no idea, but they just seem to have a tendency to get these young guys and just bring out the best possible player in all of them, and this Spencer Strider situation is absolutely another one of those examples.
Absolutely. And another player that is one of the most surprising in this season, it's Albert Pujols for me. And now some of you might be like, oh, well, I mean, of course, Albert Pujols is just doing Albert Pujols things. But the last 5 seasons before this, Albert Pujols has not been a good player. He hit for 241 with an OPS plus of 87. And if you want the actual OPS, it was 700. So this looked like his career was about to end. He wasn't going to hit the 700 mark, which he hasn't yet at the recording of this video. So it was like, oh, Albert Pujols, he's kind of done. But then he goes over to St. Louis.
Yeah, man. And you could even stretch that timeline a little bit further. Like, it's been the last decade. You know, Albert Pujols has been a okay baseball player, like, okay, but just not what he was doing in, like, those early 2000s, right? This season, when he goes over there, and it's like, he just gets an absolute resurgence. Like, maybe it's something to do with that St. Louis water.
Well, because I think it's also like the fact that's where he started his career, and he wants to end it well.
It's crazy how it's like you look back at it, right? It's like he spends a decade in St. Louis, wins a few World Series, wins a few MVPs, is absolutely rock solid dominant, signs a massive deal with LA, becomes an average baseball player, goes back to St. Louis when everybody thinks, oh, like this is just a nothing thing, he's going to ride the bench and, you know, maybe get a few ABs just to be like, oh yeah, it's Albert Pujols. Dominates, you know, so I have no idea, man.
Dude, that DH spot has been really, really good for the NL because you're allowing people like Albert Pujols to get extra ABs, 19 homers, OPS plus of 142. So not only he's just absolutely dominating, so hopefully he can get to 700 before the season's over because he is going to retire.
Yeah, 700 home runs by the way, guys. But you know, you just made a great point there where it's like, I'm so happy that we have this new DH because maybe we wouldn't have even seen this happen had there not been one.
That's right.
Maybe there wouldn't have even been this opportunity, right? And this season never would have happened, and Albert Pujols would have rode the bench, and, you know, all's well that ends well. But, like, this is what a great way to finish everything off, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And now, kind of going back over to the pitching side of things, another breakout player, and surprisingly, he is also on my fantasy team, traded for him. It's Dylan Cease from the Chicago White Sox. Well, here's another surprising thing before I break into Dylan Cease. He's on the Chicago White Sox, who are, like, not in playoffs, but this guy's putting up such a Cy Young caliber season with a 2.13 ERA, 173 innings pitched with 217 strikeouts. This guy, before this, was just kind of mediocre. He had an ERA of 4.39, so this is a huge jump for him, so a huge breakout, becoming one of the league's aces.
And what I just said about Spencer Strider and how strikeouts are only sexy when they're paired with a good ERA, I'm going to use that same point over here with Dylan Cease. For a long time, because he's been in the league for a few years, right? For that period of time, great with the strikeouts. I mean, you'd still play him in fantasy baseball, right? Because it's just wow, like K's. But you're also getting blown up every now and again. You're getting a bunch of L's. This year, he's managed to put his game together and pair those strikeouts in a way where it's like we're getting the outs that we need while also being able to pitch around other guys and like make it far in baseball games, right? So Dylan Cease has absolutely become that complete player that I think people thought that he could have been like a few years ago. Then we forgot about that. And now it's like, oh, wait, no, here he is just a few seasons later, like breaking onto the scene. And honestly, making up for the fact that Lucas Giolito has now decided that I'm going to be bad and I was a one-hit wonder. I hope that's not the case for you, Lucas Giolito, but like kind of starting to look that way with how things are going.
Yeah, I mean, if they had Lucas Giolito being what Dylan Cease is doing this year, like, yeah, for sure, they would be in a playoff spot right now, but they're not, and it's just Dylan Cease, so that's, like, congratulations, I guess.
Yeah, for real.
And I know you have a guy.
I do, and this is a guy that, I mean, is really surprising to me, and I think that no one has really talked about him or maybe even heard about him because he's chilling over there in freaking Colorado.
Forget about that.
That's the thing. Like are they like? Do they still play? Like, do you still play the games? Like, I don't really know. The guy that I'm talking about is Daniel Bard. Now, this might be, I think, maybe the most surprising guy on this list because Daniel Bard was in the league from like, I'm guessing right here, but like 2009 until 2013.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He was in the league for about that period of time. Kind of an average player, maybe even a little bit below average. Like, not great, didn't have a lot of good stuff. Out of the league. I have no idea what he does, where he goes. Does he go to Japan? Somebody comment down below. I have no freaking idea. He's out of the league until 2020. That's 7 years that he's not in the major leagues. Right? So it's like, I don't think everybody forgot about him. It's like, Daniel Bard, who the hell is this guy? Comes back in 2020. He's okay. Comes back in 2021.
Horrible.
Awful.
Horrible.
Like, literally like a 5.21 ERA. Like, not good at all. Gets one last opportunity in Colorado because, I mean, who are you going to give it to, right? 1.95 ERA, 32 saves, absolutely dominant. He's old now. He's been out of the league for several years. Like, you look at his career, I'm like, what the hell even is this? And somehow he is putting up maybe the best season over there on the Rockies that no one is talking about.
And the Rockies still don't trade him away.
Dumb.
And that management's horrible. I don't even know what you do with this guy. I think he's on a one-year deal right now. So what do? Do you sign him back again? Do you trade him off again?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, he's older now, so I don't think he's going to get a payday that he deserves with those numbers, if that was like a 26-year-old coming up. But I mean, congratulations, Daniel Bard. You were able to turn what was like a crappy situation into a good situation.
Dude, like, what did he do for those 7 years, you know?
Someone tell us. I have no idea. I feel like he might have went to Japan. You might be right about that.
Well, I think that just seems right. You know, like, it feels like you can't possibly just stop playing baseball for 7 years and then come back and be like, okay, I'm back, guys, and then pitch for a 1.95 ERA. Like, I don't believe that you did that, you know? You must have been playing somewhere where you were playing, I have no idea, but either way, like, a beautiful surprise there out of Colorado.
Yeah, absolutely. And now the final guy on this list, if you're a Toronto Blue Jays fan as we are, you know who he is. It's Alejandro Kirk. Let's go. Now, us OGs, we were not surprised at all, but I think if you look at just like from an outside perspective at the entire MLB, this guy, Alejandro Kirk, 5'8", 250 pounds. Guy just comes out of nowhere, gets 1 million votes to go to the All-Star game, and he hits for literally 298 with an OPS of 816. And the reason why I'm also bringing him up, he also has a really cool accolade. He's 9th in the entire MLB in on-base percentage.
Yeah, dude.
This guy just gets on.
He knows how to get on, right? And I mean, you want to talk about surprising people, like, there was a whole thing on Twitter, like in the media a little while ago, a guy named Matthew Ross, like, not that I even want to bring this up again, but, basically fat-shaming Alejandro Kirk. He had no idea who he was. I can guarantee that he had no idea who this guy was beforehand. We obviously did know, but the league, they're looking at this guy being like, why is this guy getting highlights right now? Oh, wait.
He's incredible.
He's freaking awesome.
Incredible.
We were watching the game the other day, right? And basically they decided to just walk Kirk or pitch away to him.
Around him, yeah.
And I saw the pitcher visibly be like, what the fuck is this, Pitches to him the next AB. Single, RBIs, and then he's like, oh, right.
That's why
we pitch around him, and we just get him on base. Alejandro Kirk is amazing. He's a stud. I'm so happy that he's finally doing what I think we both believe that he could do, and I'm so happy that the MLB is completely surprised by what he's doing at the plate.
That's right. Guys, let us know in the comments down below, who do you have as one of the most surprising players of 2022? Let us know right there.
Also, make sure to like and subscribe, and $3 a month become a Patreon member. Shout out and thank every single one of our current Patreon members. You guys are freaking studs.
And thank you so much for watching.
And go Jays go!